Hi there, my name is Becc. I'm a psychic channel and a sacred Lotus teacher. Today we're talking about how you are every frequency. You are a portal of magic and wonder to everything in the universe because we are individually a universe. The way that we can understand this, well, first is just to understand that the purpose is to choose frequency so you can manifest, you can heal, you can essentially come into alignment with that which you want using your focus and your energetic system. And I know when I really found this out in a really tangible way, it was really freeing and empowering, and it really, really helped. I have a diagram here to help me that I created with my spirit guide Samuel, who's very cool at explaining stuff like this. So what we're going to talk about first is this idea that you are the universe. This is not a joke. It's not this intangible concept. It's just the natural way of things. It's like I'm looking at a crystal here and thinking it is the same thing. It is chosen to resonate at all these different frequencies that it's selected to come into alignment with. I am what we would call crystal, but it could at any time do whatever the heck it wants. If it wants to start vibrating at something different, it could change its form, it could attract and pull in different experiences. It's all really magical, and humans, we actually, in our center, we actually have what looks and feels like a kind of black hole, which is really, I suppose it's a portal to the 0 point field, which I have a couple of videos on it if you would like to watch that and understand that further. That will probably help to have a broader perspective of the concept. But if you are the 0 point field, which all life is, because that's what my guide's saying, that's what originated in the individual God consciousness. And that is what we each are a fractal of. So the 0 point field is that place where there's nothingness, yet there's everythingness, because that nothingness contains and is the potential for everything. It's all the pieces, all the makeup, it's energy. And so even though it's nothing, if everything's made of the same stuff, it's also everything. So here in that place of your center, which for humans is the heart essence of your being, there is all of those opposites. There's stillness and non-stillness. There's good and bad, so to speak. There's all these different things because it's the potential for everything and nothing, and it is nothing. But I have my diagram here, and I really hope that it's like, okay, I'm just going to hold it up for a minute. Okay, and even if that didn't work, we can still explain. So in the center of that, there is a little center that is me, right? And then wrapped around that is a big circle. The reason for this is because when most people think of, you will hear it called the vibrational scale, they think of more of this option, where it's a line. So on one end you have love, and then going up into joy, trust, and then the other hand, the farthest end, you have fear, and then the opposite of joy, which is grief, and the opposite of trust, maybe something like anger, and then in the center you have like me, a person. And most people picture moving up and down that scale in a linear way. And it might seem like a little thing, but it's actually really unhelpful, because I will explain in a minute. But so it's better for us to think of things circular. It's very important. So in that center is me. I'm just like putting my head out here. Oh gosh. um, in the center is me, right? And then directly above me in the center is love or union, the state of all that is in its most natural and harmonic. And we've also got a little note that says HS resonance, so higher self resonance, resonance with your higher self, vibrating at the same frequency of the God essence that you are. And then the exact opposite, we have the opposite, fear, separation, HS, higher self, discord or disharmony, out of resonance. So that is a better understanding of this quote vibrational scale, for it to be circular in this fashion. And then you go around and you can see that joy over here leads to grief over here because it's the opposite. And you're going up around like this. And then courage, maybe anxiety. And that will keep going for all the different emotions that we have. Because the reason that we do a circle and the reason that it's important is what my guide was telling me, which I wrote here. Don't know if you can see it. It says the circle equals oneness plus infinity. So oneness and infinity, i.e., you are everything. Because when we think of the line, we tend to think more, it's really hard to explain, but I know for me, I think of like just moving up and down, and it's not full. It's, my guide saying it's incomplete. It's an incomplete understanding because it is absent of this notion of oneness, that more that you are a central essence, and at any moment you are going and you are vibrating around like a dial on like different things, and that's because at any moment you can be anything and everything because you are the oneness. Even though there's a central you, these other essences are also you, because in our central being, in our most central heart, we are everything. So the point of that awareness is so that I'm going to give you the example to help me explain. When I first learned this, I was sitting there feeling really sad. I'd been journaling and feeling some emotions from the past, and I can't quite remember the negative emotion I was feeling. It was like really low, grief, maybe something, fear. And I was just sitting there, I was like, oh, I just need to feel, I wish I could feel courage. Like, I wish I could be courageous. And I had this awareness just pop in, like, okay, if I am feeling the opposite of that, if I'm feeling fear, the opposite must be within me, because we are in a realm of duality and polarities, and I am everything. It's just this very just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna try that. And I just didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, I don't know how, but I intend courage. And even though like sadness or whatever was still there, didn't go anywhere, I didn't push it away or anything, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna see what happens. And I intended courage without pushing anything away, and without controlling or trying to make it happen. That's very important. It's not like, okay, I'm going to think courageous thoughts, I'm going to do something within my energy or my mind. I'm just going to intend and then sort of step back or sit back. And then after like maybe 30 seconds, I started to feel these little trickles of courage just coming up in me. The other emotion was still there, but it was a little bit less, and my attention was brought to this couragey type feeling. And I was like, in the back of my mind, I was like, whoa. So I just tried to stay focused on that. And just, okay, I intend courage. And then as I did that with my focus, it got stronger and stronger. And then in maybe 5 to 10 minutes or something, I was feeling quite a palpable courage. It's not like the sadness or whatever just sort of like totally disappeared, because I was just sort of practicing this. But if you were to continue that, if I had continued longer, it would have. Equally, it may have created a purification process where the negative feeling strengthens a bit to come out, to get out of the way of the positive frequency that you are now trying to vibrate at. They can't really share space for very long. The point of this topic, though, is to understand that when you are suffering, when you are feeling loss or grief or sadness, it can be here. It can be here if you can do this nuanced thing of like, I intend happiness. And you have to surrender to where you're at. We don't want to do that from a place of like, I need to be happy, I need to, going into a kind of energy of forcing. It's about just that pure intention and trusting in that heart-centered intention. The reason that we do this is to understand ultimately what powerful creators we are. That even though we may be vibrating at a certain frequency, we can always choose a different frequency. It may initially be difficult to get to the point of choosing it, but that's sort of half the purpose of me sharing this with you, is that if you could trust this and you could just know that the next time that you feel low, or you want to manifest something that's sort of an opposite frequency to where you are, you remember this and say, okay, maybe this is real, maybe this is true, and just try it. Okay, just try it. There's always a nuance of, I know what it's like when you are really, really upset or triggered or whatever, activated, and the idea of doing something like this seems difficult. But that's why we practice. You practice when you are feeling okay, when you're feeling pretty even, so that when you are activated, it's a little easier because it's already kind of built into your, it's already in your system, that habit of, okay, I'm going to choose my frequency. And remembering that nuance of not forcing, still allowing what is, meaning the sadness or the difficult situation that you are in. It's kind of it's a very beautiful thing actually, of just, I'm experiencing this sadness, but I understand that I ultimately am my higher self. And so using that awareness and that truth that sits deep in my heart, I choose joy, I choose happiness, and I allow it to bloom. And the more that you just step back, let it happen, and the other piece is trusting in your power of intention and trusting in this truth. Not if doubt pops up, what I'm saying is if doubt pops up, it can just slow the process down a little bit. The best thing to do if doubt pops up with this or any other really exercise or intuitive thing or manifestation, whatever you're doing, is to just kind of allow the doubt. This is all about allowing. So, okay, I allow, like I notice, I accept, I acknowledge that this doubt is here right now. And I choose to continue focusing on the courage or whatever you're doing or blooming. It doesn't have to be shutting something down to make something else happen. When we get into any of that type of forcing energy, we're in resistance. We're like, I want to explain the energy, but it's just like this. And you can't really do anything from that. But if I'm just like, okay, everything that's here is okay, I'm still in my flowing nature, I'm still in my power, and things can still move. But resistance is alright, and what we do is we allow resistance. We allow it to be here as well. Yes, so just really understand that you actually are every frequency, and this is the most powerful way, the best way, and the most natural way actually for humans to heal and to manifest. That is actually what we're supposed to do, is to sit down and become the frequency that we would like, and trust and believe, and it's done. It doesn't have to be complex. You can use the power of thought to help you, like this is more for manifestations, to imagine what you want. That can help for sure because it's helping you get into the frequency. But I sort of see this as a shortcut. If you can really trust in it, you don't have to sit there and imagine the new car that you're going to get and really sort of drive that and put all that energy into that to get to the frequency of how you'll feel when you have, fill in the blank. What if you could just activate that frequency right now? And what that's going to do is probably help your imaginings just naturally happen as well. Because your frequency, it is the driver for all of our experience, and it is a powerful thing to realize that you are this centered higher self fractal of 0-point field energy with the potential for everything, as well as the beautiful stillness of nothingness, the spaciousness. And it's from that spaciousness of your essence, of your being, that we create most powerfully. That spaciousness in this topic is the process of just I intend and letting go and allowing, being in your center. You're using your 0-point field to generate. And this is, I can't express enough because my guides really want to convey that this is how we're supposed to live, This is actually what's natural to us. It doesn't have to be as large a struggle as it has been. So yeah, I just really wanted to share that with everyone because it really helped me in those times of pain. You can do it when you need love, when you need to feel safe, anything. It's quite beautiful. But thank you for tuning in, and I send you so much love, and please like and subscribe, and also you can donate on my website if you enjoy this content. Also, I do sessions for people, which I love doing, so check that out, and I'll see you soon.